Kimone Nunis knows what happened to her father wasn't right. He had not hurt anyone or committed any crime, but he died in police custody, and she watched it all happen. Making the memory even more painful was the fact that she was the one who called 911. The medical examiner doesn't have clear answers as to why Oral Nunis died, but he says the man was displaying excited delirium-like symptoms. The thing is, excited delirium is such a questionable term that police and medical examiners in California will be banned from using it.
Police. Hello? You guys the ones that called us?
Yeah.
Where's he at?
It's like the worst decision I've ever made in my life.
131 Alpha 132 Jumpstart, code for 5150.
Kimone Nunis called 911 just before midnight on March 12, 2020, to get help for her father, who was having a mental health crisis.
His job was troubling, his personal life, finances. He was going through a lot. He was just overall stressed. I don't know how to explain it. It wasn't him. He was kind of paranoid. He wasn't eating. He kept saying that, like, someone was trying to hurt him.
You see in the video, the officer comes at 56-year-old Oral Nunis, handcuffs already out.
Don't cuff him, please.
No. You're not in any trouble, man. This is just for everyone's safety.
Did the officer pause at all with that and engage in any kind of conversation?
No.
Oral Nunis had been threatening to jump out of a second-story window earlier, but had calmed down and told the officer he would go with him.
Okay, no handcuff, please.
Daddy, listen.
I'm gonna go with you.
Okay, stay seated, brother.
Moments later, the officer's body cam shuts off. Chula Vista police say Oral Nunis raced from the home before being tackled by the first officer on the scene. Body cam video from the second officer to arrive shows both of them struggling to hold Nunis down. But that second officer's body cam shut down too. He turns it back on 90 seconds later, and we see 30 seconds of video with no sound. But you can see Kimone trying to comfort him. Officers then start to turn him over to put him in handcuffs and restraints. Oral isn't a big man, but he's still resisting.
Kim, you cannot do this to Daddy.
To this day, all I can hear is him screaming, because he kept screaming my name and calling for me.
Oral is held down, a knee on his shoulder in an awkward position. Officers continued to hold him down as he was placed in a restraint system known as a wrap. They would put a spit sock over his head before loading him into the ambulance. Just moments after he was loaded, Chula Vista police say they were notified by paramedics that he was in medical distress and they were performing CPR. He didn't make it. Oral Nunis was pronounced dead at Sharp Chula Vista Medical Center. Kimone waited hours to see him, but they would only let her view him through a window.
But they wouldn't even let me go inside. His shirt was ripped. He was bleeding on his face. And they wouldn't let me say goodbye.
The initial autopsy listed cardiac arrest as the cause of death, but the deputy medical examiner who performed the autopsy testified during a deposition 2 years later that Nunis' death was similar to ones blamed on something called excited delirium. Excited delirium is a theory characterized by bizarre and aggressive symptoms like shouting, paranoia, panic, violence toward others, unexpected physical strength, and hyperthermia. But excited delirium is so dubious, the term has been denounced by the American Medical Association, the American College of Emergency Physicians, and the American Psychiatric Association, and has been outlawed in the state of California, the first state to do so.
When you use a term like excited delirium that has no medical foundation, no medical basis, it's not only a disservice to the health profession, the medical profession, but it is an extreme disservice to that person who has passed away and their family members as well.
State Assembly member Akilah Weber from San Diego, a medical doctor, co-sponsored the bill that outlaws use of the term by police in an incident report or by medical examiners.
And what the data shows is that when you look at who is getting this frivolous diagnosis, it is disproportionately people of color.
We believe that they wrongfully killed Mr. Nunis. And so somebody's got to be accountable for that.
DeWitt Lacey is representing the Nunis family in its wrongful death lawsuit and points to a different cause of death.
Positional asphyxia, that is a circumstance where, the body is compressed and the subject or the victim is not able to get enough air. And one of the most distressing things that we saw in the videos that we do have is that there was no type of evaluation.
And that may be what bothers Kimone Nunis the most about this incident.
They never once tried to understand the situation. That one call changed my whole life. And I have to live with that every day. Because if I didn't call, he would be here with me, taking care of his kids.
The wrongful death lawsuit is headed to mediation at the end of the month. If that doesn't work, trial is set for next April. We reached out to the Chula Vista Police Department several times to ask if it was policy to handcuff a person in that type of situation. And for a reaction to the lawsuit, they declined comment.
You feel for his family. Excited delirium, this controversial term, how often is it used as a cause of death?
It's not common. The medical examiner, the deputy medical examiner who performed the autopsy, for example, has done about 5,200 of them in his career. He says he cited excited delirium 9 times.
Wow.
And in 8 of those 9 cases, some kind of positional restraint involving police was involved. So it's not something that happens very often. And as for using the term excited delirium, the medical examiner's office says they will follow the law. So starting the start of 2024, they will not be using that term any longer in their reports.
Wow. All right. Big changes.
Big changes.
We'll follow this lawsuit. Thanks, Carlo.